For more on this story, I'm joined from Kuwait by cybersecurity expert Roland Najem. Roland, this looks serious, but how serious is it actually, this latest zero-day vulnerability in Microsoft SharePoint? Is it a major breach?
Well, hello, John. How are you? First, yes, it is very serious. It is one of the most critical cyber attacks that happened lately after what happened in 2020. Let's describe why it is very critical. First, this type of zero-day attack where the hackers, they found a bug, a security hole in Microsoft SharePoint, and they were able to hack all the systems. So because of this, let's say, bug, and by the way, here we are talking about SharePoint, what we call on-premise, which means the servers are locally hosted in the entities where they are hosting the Microsoft SharePoint on their servers. It's not over cloud. So because of this bug, they were able to install files and shells where they keep for them backdoors. So even if you fix this problem and fix this security bug, the hackers might still have access to all the servers or the system or the infrastructure, where this would be very critical, because even when Microsoft, let's say, publish the update and patching for this security hole, but still at the same time, hackers might still have access to the servers and to the infrastructures.
Roland, Microsoft say that dozens of systems have been compromised here. Now, from your experience and expertise, how quickly could a vulnerability like this spread across the entire global network?
Actually, this is the key issue. When you find a problem, because here we are talking about what we call supply chain attack, which means the hackers, they are not attacking one entity or let's say one server. They are attacking a security bug in Microsoft. So when they will find this bug, all systems and infrastructure and network that they are hosting this SharePoint, they will be affected. So you can easily scan over the network. And here it's very problem to address one key point. Lots of people, they will say, if I'm hosting everything on premise, on my own data centers, I'm more secure than over cloud, which is totally wrong, because if you are hosting everything on premise, but still you are connected to the internet, you have the same risk. And when we talk about, let's say, Microsoft Cloud, so Microsoft, they are responsible for all the headache of cybersecurity and so on. But when you are hosting everything locally, so all the hack and all the headache of having all the security, it's on your responsibility. So this is a big issue. So because lots of people, they are hosting old versions, even from SharePoint 2016 and 2019. So this will make them more vulnerable and they are exposed. So once you will find this bug, any person or company or industry that are using those SharePoints, they will be exposed.
And let's speak about some of the companies who suffered from this potential exploitation. The US National Nuclear Security Administration is reportedly affected by this. What kind of a risk does such a breach actually pose? So even if no classified information was stolen, what's at risk here?
Okay, when we are talking about US nuclear, we are talking about entities, of course, they are not putting any critical data or any critical infrastructure or any data that are valuable on servers that are connected to the internet. This is for sure. Here we are talking about data that should be stored, and of course they are storing all data in a certain servers that they are not connected to the internet, and they have certain, let's say, servers that they use the internet, they use share files for certain connectivity and for certain use. But in all cases, when we are talking about any entity, whether governmental entity or non-governmental entity, because basically we are talking about more than 400 companies or governmental entities, they were affected by this attack. So at the end of the day, any company, whether nuclear, whether Ministry of Defense or Ministry of Interior or whatever entity, governmental or non-governmental, they will have to use any system from the market. They need companies like Microsoft, they need companies like CrowdStrike, FireEye, Oracle, and so on. So they are using public and very well-known companies to be used. And whenever we are talking about Microsoft and any company, any system that is developed by people, they will always have bugs and errors and problems. And hackers nowadays, especially with all new AI tools, they are ahead of this. So no matter what you will do, if you are a nuclear entity or not, you will be affected sooner or later by a cyber attack. There is nothing called 100% secure. So in this case, I guess the damage there is very limited, but it means that we have to ring the bell that there is a big alert for a nuclear entity in USA.
Roland, talk us through the difference between cyber espionage and ransomware, especially in a case like this. Hackers shifting from spying to locking systems and why they would do that in the first place.
Actually, this is a very important question because yesterday I had an interview on Arabiya Arabic, and we were discussing what they are doing in England now because they are forcing all entities whenever they are under ransomware attack not to pay the ransomware, and at the same time they have to announce and declare to the governmental entities that we were under attack. Why everybody is going now for ransomware? I'm talking about hackers, because if I will hack you now and I will encrypt all your systems, all your servers, all your data, so all the system will not be functional anymore in your company or governmental entity or maybe hospitals, for example. So this is a very big issue. So that's why entities like this, and one time it happened to the US pipelines. They asked for a ransom of $5 million and they had to pay it because all the US pipelines were down and there was a big problem in the USA. Sometimes hospitals, they are forced to pay this ransomware. So hackers, they count on the fact that lots of companies and the governmental entities and hospitals, they cannot afford to be down. They cannot afford to have all their data encrypted. So that's why they go for ransomware attack to make more money. But what they are doing now in England, when they are saying that you are not allowed to pay the ransom and you are forced to tell the governmental entities, in this way, yes, they are putting kind of restrictions on not to give all the hackers the fancy of getting paid for everything. But at the same time, let's talk about hospital. What if in a hospital, all their servers and equipment and computers are down? And people might die in this hospital, so they must pay. So this is a very critical issue, and ransomware attacks now are one of the worst attacks worldwide.
And concerning attacks as well. But Roland, Najem in Kuwait, thank you for joining us.